this lesson, we're going to be looking at expressions and substituting values in for different variables in expressions. Okay, so the first expression here we see is m plus m minus p. So the letter m appears twice, and so we're going to take the value that they gave us for m, we're going to plug it into both instances of m. They also said p is 5, so we're going to plug p, 5 in for p wherever we see it. Okay, so we start off with the first m, we replace it with a 5, the plus sign comes down, the second m also gets replaced with 5, because that's the value of m. Bring down the minus sign, and then p also gets replaced with 5 because p happens to be 5 as well. Okay, so we have now just an expression with numbers, and we're just going to follow the order of operations. So we've got 5 plus 5 is 10, minus 5 is 5. So that's the value of this expression when m is 5 and p is 5. Okay, let's look at a couple of more examples. All right, so here we've got a 3 out front, and then we've got a p and a q being added together in parentheses. We remember that there is multiplication happening right there. But the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is substitute 6 for p and 4 for q. So I'm going to bring down the 3, which is nothing to substitute for there. Now this p I'm going to replace with a 6. And the q we're going to replace with 4. Okay, we've replaced the variables with the values that we were told, and so now we're going to just follow the order of operations. So we're going to work inside parentheses. There's nothing really to do inside the first parentheses. The second parentheses, I can add the 6 and the 4 to get 10, and now I've got 3 and 10 multiplied by each other, so we've got 30. So the value of this expression when p is 6 and q is 4 is 30. Okay, let's look around at some different examples here. In number 5, we have a square going on here. So we're going to replace we're going to replace x with 3 and y with 1. So we have y, which is 1, squared, plus x, which is 3. So 1 squared, 1 times 1 is 1. And we add 3 to that to get a total of 4. So when x is 3 and y is 1, the expression y squared plus x is equal to 4. Number 9 is pretty straightforward, but sometimes throws students off because they don't understand what's happening between here. So the 4 is being multiplied by the m, and then the m is being multiplied by the n. There's multiplication between 3 different numbers here. So when we substitute these in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down the 4, but when I put the m in, I'm going to put it in parentheses. That'll remind us that we're multiplying it together. And then we're going to put 3 in for n. So put that in there. Okay, we can multiply one at a time if we want. 4 times 4 is 16. And then we still have times 3. And now we've got 16 times 3 is 48. So the expression 4mn is equal to 48 when m is equal to 4 and n is equal to 3. All right, let's scroll down, see if there's anything else interesting going on. All right, lots of different fun things happening in number 15. Let's substitute our values of 3 for x and 5 for y everywhere we see x and y. So the first time I see an x, so I'm going to place a 3 there. Now I see 2 y's. Both of them are 5, of course. Y is 5 throughout. Great. So 5 plus 5. And then minus the value of x, which is 3. Great. So let's go ahead and follow the order of operations. Nothing to do in the first set of parentheses. So the second set of parentheses, 5 plus 5 is 10. And we still got the minus 3. Okay, so now we've got 2 operations left, really. We've got multiplication and subtraction. Multiplication is going to happen first. So we have 30 minus 3. And 30 minus 3, of course, is 27. So this expression, x times the quantity y plus y and quantity minus x, is equal to 27 when x is 3 and y is 15. So there's a number of examples, 1 through 20 here, that we should go ahead and try for further practice, but we'll do that in class.